I have got a holster review for you today, and it is my beloved VP9 sitting inside of a deep concealment custom holster out of South Florida. Jeff Young makes really nice products. I have owned many of them from several different types of guns, and just couldn't be happier every single time with the fit and the finish and the features that he offers. His customer service is awesome as well. So I guess since the gun is already in it, I'm going to go ahead and show you the fit, and then we'll talk about finish and features after that. The 3 F's when you're looking for holsters. So fit, first of all, extraction is really important, guys. We got to be able to get the gun out of the holster without the holster coming out or binding up too much. And as you can see, I can pull this out pretty easily. Now, it does have adjustable retention, which is a plus, but she really comes out nice. But watch how she goes in. Nice positive snap, but not a hard snap where it just locks in and you feel like you're going to rip that holster out with a gun. So what a great job, a beautiful job of fitting that pistol in there tightly, snugly, where it doesn't move any. That thing's just rock solid, but at the same time, so easy to extract. So great job there, Jeff. Just a super job with that. What I really like too, as a matter of fact, when I first pulled this thing out of the bag, when I got it out of the mailbox, I didn't think this was for the VP9. I thought the holster was too small. And if you look at it without the gun, it just doesn't look very big. And I thought, is that really for the VP9? I know the lines look like it and the rail markings and the detail, but he just did an awesome job. The footprint is just puny and still covered the trigger guard beautifully. Very well done. Just took it right down to the bottom of the gun. And here's another really nice thing. To fit my Trigi HDs, you can see through the channel there. There we go. Plenty of room, plenty of clearance for sights even as tall as the HDs. So great job there as well. The foamy clip, the more I use those, the more I like them. They're just very easy on and off, and I really appreciate that. Plus they're strong. They seem to last a long time and maintain their retention there, their strength. So really quick, let me touch back on the retention adjustability. Something I want you guys to consider and think about is if you ever want to adjust this grommet thickness, maybe a holster is a little too tight or a little too wide, go to the Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, something like that. You can buy, it's 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch hose, whatever size that is, and it's like fuel line, and it's dirt cheap. You can buy a foot of it and it'll probably last you a lifetime. Cut it with a razor blade and customize that thickness right there. And I'm a tinkerer, so I have probably gone through a foot of it already. You might not if you don't like to tinker as much as I do, but just really cheap and just a really inexpensive hack, that you can adjust those with for your holster. So so we talked about fit. Let's look at finish. The details of the VP9, beautifully done. Take a look at the rail. Definitely good detail there. Very well done. The back side, your slide release. And we talked about standard features, adjustable retention, the foamy clip, on about a 5-degree cant, by the way, which I like. It keeps the grip away from the belt a little bit, so that if it sags a little, you still can get that full pistol grip if you have to go to your gun. So we're going to talk about unconventional features, and this is actually called the bump holster. And the reason is, if you look at the trigger guard, there's a bump. Now, you guys, I'm sure have seen out there all of these giant swooping concealment wings, and they are effective and they work, and I've owned them. I've tinkered with those on my guns as well, or on my holsters, but sometimes they can really increase the footprint of the holster, and especially carrying an appendix, I like that to be as slim and as small as humanly possible. So what Jeff has done is he added a bump, and that's a concealment bump. So it actually works just like a concealment wing, and it helps pull that grip in. And I'm just wearing a standard XL shirt, nothing oversized or big. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit how well it conceals. It really works. And full disclosure, I should tell you guys as well, Jeff did send this to me free. This is a T&E and a review piece, so I'm going to give him some feedback. I love that concept, and I'm going to give him feedback of what I think. I've carried it for about 2 weeks now. I have done dry practice. I put about 300 rounds through the VP9 in and out of this holster. I have worn it for 2 weeks, daily, so I really like it. This thing has really impressed me, and his products always do. They always do. He just does a great job. Guys, so here we are with the VP9 inside of the holster, and I'm going to show you first of all just how easy it goes in the belt. Obviously with a foamy clip, it's very simple to put in, and yet it's very rigid. Now the one thing I will tell you is with this holster, with the bump, since it's not a bigger piece like the concealment wings, you can't really get away with a flimsy belt. I have tried different belts with it as part of the T&E evaluation. This is my Daltec Bio belt, so it's very strong, very rigid. My 511 tactical belt, the thick nylon, works as well, but you're going to need a good belt to utilize that bump properly and to really get the most out of it. But then again, you should be using a good belt anyway for concealed carry. So I'm just going to pull the shirt back so you guys can see how tight it tucks against the body. Really does just really well. All right, and we'll take a look at concealment. All right, just like I said, standard shirt. Turn to the side. Unless you were looking for it, you're just not going to see it. Now, a lot of times holsters also are only good for appendix, or they're better for hip carry. I have found this little guy actually works really well over here at 3 to 4 o'clock, and you can do it pretty simply too. All right, and I'm going to show you guys how that works. All right, so there it is, and you can see how tightly that tucks up against the body as well. And it actually conceals really nicely as well. So obviously if you bend over, you're going to see a little bit of the butt of the gun. That's pretty typical though when you carry at that position. You move it on back a little more, back to around that 430 position, where I know some of you guys carry. She still conceals really nicely. Again, butt of the gun, we know it, that 430 position, you're going to get that. But from this position, hey, you've got no issues. So we've talked about fit, finish, function, all the features, the extraction, the retention, everything on this holster that I can think of, guys. I can just tell you that it's a great quality holster, and I really appreciate Jeff sending me this as well. And I want to disclose something also, guys. I never ask anyone for anything. If I get any freebies for T&E or testing or reviewing, it's because I have done reviews based honestly on my opinion and my experiences with a product, good or bad. You guys have seen I've done some bad reviews as well. And when I first got the holster from Jeff, my very first one was for the Glock 43, and I bought that and I reviewed it, and I sent him the review. I said, hey, I appreciate your product, thank you very much. It was at a fair price too, and I really like it. And it just kind of fired up a relationship there to where we've been communicating on and off, and he sent me this for T&E to test out, and I'm going to send him my feedback. But I can't recommend it enough, guys. You can see it's concealable, the function is great, the finish is beautiful, and it works. It really works. And so the only thing he's going to have to get me pretty soon is one for my VP9 subcompact, which will be here really soon. So I'm hearing within the next couple of weeks those things will be available pretty much about everywhere, and I will have my hands on one. So Jeff, you got to get me a VP9 subcompact holster as well.